JD Kane here, VP of Sales for Revinate. Welcome to a video series where we preview the amazing content in our latest hotel marketing benchmark report. We analyzed over 368 million emails across our entire global customer base to pull out benchmarks and insights for you. You can always download the report by going to revinate.com and looking under the Learn menu. Now, let's take a look at each of these 9 sections in detail. I'm now joined by Nick Ferris, Major Account Executive for Revinate. Thanks for joining, Nick.
Hey, JD. Thanks for having me.
Nick and I are going to preview the section on email volume. Nick, describe for me what was most interesting for you about this section.
So I thought it was super interesting to see that there was a 40% increase in review volume in 2020, right in the middle of COVID versus the previous year. Not something I would have expected. And I think as it turns out, we saw that COVID was, for a lot of folks, it was a forcing mechanism, to get much more efficient with fewer resources, fewer dollars. And so people shifted a lot of their efforts to email and targeting past guests to come back, which, really, if you think about it, that is a hotel's lowest cost direct distribution channel.
Absolutely. Certainly organizationally, just like hotels, Revinate trying to do more with less. That was really a mandate as this pandemic went on. Across your customer base, do you have any examples of customers you thought did well with this?
Yeah, there's a lot of cool groups out there that I think adapted really, we're very quick to. Like Noble House comes to mind, Ace Hotels, another great group. Like Noble House, they got very specific with segmentation, particularly as restrictions started changing around the world. So for example, in Canada, they used a lot of location data to only target guests who could actually stay, at the hotel, given all the restrictions that were placed in Canada. And that gave them a big edge versus other hotels in their market. There are other, Noble House properties that, did the same type of strategy. They were targeting specific states that were close by or less restrictive in shutdowns and easier for guests to get to. I think on the flip side, think of someone like Ace, for example. I mean, they've always had a very creative way to stay top of mind and promote their brand. They even actually grew their database during COVID. The anomaly, wouldn't have guessed that in a million years. And so, during closures, what they were doing is they were selling online shop items with email promotions. They were partnering with other businesses to highlight each other, things like that. And then as soon as things, started opening again, in different pockets, they used email to promote special rates, like day stays, or even work from hotel extended stay offers, just in general, being really creative about, how they can communicate with less.
Exactly. And it's that agility, that real-time nature of needing to update the customer base on things going on, restrictions being lifted and whatnot, and certain directions on what's going on in and around the hotel and what they're going to experience when they come. That really led to higher volume, and also getting clever with how they were advertising and marketing certain things. So excellent examples. Thanks for sharing that with us, Nick. Appreciate your thoughts on email volume.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
2020 was a year unlike any other, and it changed everything about the way we should be benchmarking ourselves. This guide has the data that you can use against which you measure your performance. For all the data, please go to revinate.com and download the full guide under the Learn menu. There you'll also find other great research content, such as our traveler study for what the world looks like post-COVID, our guide on what you should be doing to build your marketing strategies throughout the recovery, and finally, an email guide written by Revinate's experts on the insights, strategies, and best practices to be using for email marketing in general. Thank you.